An urban legend is a modern folklore, which consists of fictional stories. The stories are sometimes used to explain mysterious events such as a disappearance. Today, we count down the 4 most creepy urban legends. Number 4. The Suicidal Boyfriend. A girl and her boyfriend, both of them college students, are making out in his car. They have parked near the forest of Rambouillet, so they won't be seen by anyone. When they're finished, the boy gets out to take some fresh air and smoke a cigarette, and the girl waits for him in the safety of the car. After waiting for 5 minutes, the girl gets out of the car to look for her boyfriend. Suddenly, she sees a man in the shadows. Frightened, she gets back into the car to drive away. But as she does this, she hears a very faint squeak, followed by more squeaks. This continues for a few seconds until the girl decides that she has no choice but to drive off. She hits the gas as hard as possible, but can't go anywhere. Someone has tied a rope from the bumper of the car to a nearby tree. Finally, the girl slams on the gas again and then hears a loud scream. She gets out of the car and realizes that her boyfriend is hanging from the tree. It turns out that the squeaky noises were made by his shoes scraping across the top of the car. Number 3. Crybaby Bridge. According to this legend, a couple was driving home from church with their baby, arguing about something. The rain was falling in torrents, and they soon found themselves having to drive over a flooded bridge. As they started across, the water was deeper than they first thought, so they got stuck and decided to get out of the car to find help. The woman stayed behind, but left the car for reasons we can only guess at. While her back was turned to the car, she heard her baby crying out loudly. She returned to the vehicle only to find that her baby had been carried away by the water. According to the same legend, if you go to that same bridge, you can still hear the baby crying. However, the bridge's location is conveniently unknown. Number 2. Zanfrata's alien abduction. Fortunato Zanfrata's abduction story has become one of the most famous urban legends in Italy over the last few decades. According to his accounts, Zanfrata was abducted by aliens called Dragos from the planet Titonia and experienced repeated abductions by the same group over a period of several years, from 1978 to 1981. As frightening or creepy as this case might sound, it seems like we can paint a more optimistic picture of the intentions of these visitors when we consider the words of Zanfrata during one hypnosis section. I know you are trying to come more frequently. No, you can't come to Earth. People get scared if they look at you. You can't make friendship. Please go. Zanfrata has probably given more details about his alien abduction than any other person in history. His detailed accounts may cause even the most vehement skeptic to pause for thought. To this day, the Zanfrata case remains one of the most curious and fascinating X-Files around the world. Number 1. The Greek Soldier. This lesser-known legend tells us of a Greek soldier who after World War II was returning home to marry his fiancée. Unfortunately for him, he was captured by fellow Greeks who had hostile political beliefs. He was tortured for 5 weeks and then eventually murdered. In the early 1950s, mainly in north and central Greece, there were stories about a very attractive Greek soldier in uniform who appeared and disappeared overnight, seducing beautiful widows and virgin women with the sole purpose of impregnating them. 5 weeks after the babies were born, the man would disappear for good, leaving a letter on the table explaining that he had returned from the dead merely to spread his seed, so that his sons might one day avenge his murder. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and make sure to tune in again tomorrow for another brand new episode.